All right, guys, so we will start the session for today. And sorry to start it late. I got some issues with my AWS account. It got just fixed. All right. And what those who joined today, I want all of you to sign up on this website. There's a website called training.info. Right now the website is down. Let me fix it. 1 second. Okay, I don't think it will take much time. It will be up very soon. So what you need to do is register on this website. If you open this website, you will see an option to register yourself. So those who didn't register on this website yet, please register. This is the training portal where you can log in and manage your course curriculum. Please bookmark this link and try to open this URL after some 30 minutes. Right now it's not working. Within 30 minutes it should be up, so you can check after that. And go ahead and register on this URL. Create yourself a new account. Okay, guys, so what I am going to do is I'm going to create a new Linux machine in my AWS account, and I want to work on that machine. You all have created a Linux machine in your AWS account yesterday. I hope I hope everyone did that. If somebody is yet to create your AWS account and Linux machine, let me know. So I'm going to create a new Linux machine because the machine which I created yesterday, I had deleted that machine. So I'm creating a new machine. Click on launch instance on the top. Then you will see this option. It will show you which operating system that you want to run on the Linux machine. I'm selecting Ubuntu Server 18.4 as the operating system. Now click on review and launch button. Right, these are the steps that you followed in order to create a new Linux machine. But in general, at least for the first couple of weeks, you don't need to create a new machine because one machine is sufficient to do your Linux learning. And that's what we focus on. In the first 2 weeks, we will focus on Linux learning, networking learning, and learning some software basics. That's what we are going to do, right? And after that only we will move on to our advanced training. The reason is there are certain things that you need to know before we move on to AWS or DevOps training. So first 2 weeks we will spend on those prerequisites. So I'm going to create a new machine, and this time I can create a new key which you already know. That's what you did yesterday. But once you created a key before, next time when you create a new machine, you can actually select the first option to choose an existing key, and then you can, from the drop down, you can choose the key that you created earlier. What that means is the new machine which I am creating right now, I can log into that machine using the same key which you created yesterday or which you created before. You need to check this box. Also make sure that the key is there in your laptop, right? You must have the key in your laptop. If you lose it, you won't be able to log into the machine. Click on launch instance and that's it. It would create a new Linux machine, and now click on that Linux machine. And those who joined today, to make sure that you get the idea, you are not going to set up anything in your laptop. You have a laptop, but you will use the laptop only to log into the remote Linux machine. And what I just created in my AWS account is a Linux machine, and from my laptop I will log into that Linux machine. Then I will get one command line, then I will work on that command line. That's what I am going to do. And same thing you will do from your side. You will register for your own AWS account, then you will create a Linux machine, you will log into that machine, and you will work on that machine. So in fact, you are not going to set up anything in your laptop. Throughout this training, we are going to work in the cloud. not on your laptop. Your laptop is used only to log into the remote Linux machines, and that's it. And this is how your lab environment will look like. So in fact, in my case, I created a new Linux machine, and this is the new Linux machine which I just created, and this is the IP address of the machine. And I told you, if you are using Windows, what are the steps to log into the machine, and if you are using a MacBook, what are the steps to log into the machine. I am using a MacBook, and for me, this is the command I need to run from a MacBook command line. So I need to run this particular command. This is my MacBook command line terminal. This is the command I need to run. I should provide the key file. The username is Ubuntu and the IP address of the machine. Run this command, and it will ask you, are you sure want to continue connecting, because I am connecting for the first time. Give yes, and that's it. So what happened right now is, I was using a MacBook. It doesn't really matter whether you use MacBook or Windows PC, or you use Linux. It doesn't really matter what operating system you run in your laptop. You will log into this Linux machine, and what you get in your laptop is a window like this, a command line. You will get one command line, and this command line belong to the remote Linux machine. In other words, whatever command that you run in here, remember, those commands are getting executed on the remote machine. So from my MacBook, I logged into the remote Linux machine as user Ubuntu. Of course, when you want to log into a machine, you should provide the username, right? When you log into your laptop, you should provide a username and password. So from my MacBook, I logged into this Linux machine as user Ubuntu. Ubuntu is a user inside this operating system. And I told you, in Linux, all you get is a command line. What you see right in my screen, this command line, this is nothing but the remote Linux machine. In other words, any action I want to do on the remote Linux machine, I want to create a new file, I want to create a folder, or I want to go into one folder, I want to do a copy paste, I want to install a software, any action that you want to do, it has to be done through one or other command. So this is the command line of the Linux machine, where I want to execute different commands. So there is a Linux command called who am I. So from now, whatever I am going to execute, they are Linux commands. So let me run a command called, I got disconnected. Let me log in once again. This is the IP address of the Linux machine. From my MacBook, I need to log into the machine once again because I got disconnected. What happened? Something wrong with the machine, it seems. Yeah, it's not my problem. I think some problem with the AWS
I
machine.
guess it's not running yet. The instance you created, it's not running yet.
It's in, actually it's in running state. It's
It
already
was
in
not.
running state.
You can try it again.
But seems to be some problem with the machine. Let me reboot it. You can actually reboot the machine from here itself. Let me reboot the machine once. Actually, this happens very rarely. I mean, in the last 2 or 3 months, I never noticed any such problems, but I don't know why it is happening right now. I'm trying to log in from my MacBook to the remote Linux machine, but there seems to be some problem. I'm not able to connect to the machine. And then I try to reboot the remote Linux machine from my browser. Okay, leave it. I will create a new machine. I don't know what's going on. Let me create a new machine. Same steps. Click on launch instance. Create. In your case, do not create a second machine. Create only one machine. All right. If you create a second machine, they will charge you. If you create only one machine, it's free. And also make sure that when you after selecting operating system, by default it will be T2 micro. Don't change it. If you change it, then they will charge you. So you should create only one machine which must be T2 micro. Then only it will become free. And after 1 year, the free tier will expire. After 1 year, they will start charging you. So maybe put a reminder, right, to check after 1 year that you do not have any machines left in your account. All right, let me create a machine. Okay, the machine which I previously created, I am terminating it. There's an option for terminating. You can right click on the machine, go to instance state and terminate. The machine which is not working, I am terminating that. Now let me, okay, this is the new machine which I created. Let me log into that machine using the same key. Yes, it's working. Okay. So right now I am on a Linux command line. From my MacBook, I run the SSH command to log into this Linux machine. And there are different Linux command. There is a command called who am I. Run the command who am I. What this Linux command shows you is which user you are currently logged in as. Right? In Linux, there is no other way to find out which user you logged in as. You have to run some command for that. In case of Windows, you can simply click on the start button. It would show you the username. But in case of Linux, it has to be, yeah, it has to be done through this way. This is the command you need to run in order to see which user you are currently logged in as. It's Ubuntu. And in every Linux machine, there is another user called root. Root is a admin user in Linux machine. It's also called a super user. It's like the administrator user in Windows. I hope you all are using Windows. In Windows operating system, there is a highly privileged user, administrator. If you log in as administrator to a Windows PC, you can do a lot of things which are generally not permitted when you log in as a normal user. In Linux also there is a similar admin user. The name is root, and in any Linux operating system there would be one default user called root, a super user. And now I want to log in as root user. The command I need to run is sudo su-root, sudo su space hyphen space root. This is the command after you logged in as user Ubuntu. This is the command that you need to run in order to become root. So run this command and now you became root. In Windows, if you want to log in as a different user, how do you do it? Go to start button, then you select the option switch user. There's an option switch user. If you click on, then you can log in as a different user. In case of Linux, You can use this command su to switch user to a different user. So now you type the command who am I. You can see now you are logged in as root. Earlier it was Ubuntu. Okay, perfect. So you had learned two commands. Who am I is a Linux command that will show you which user you are currently logged in as, and this is the command that would show switch to the root user. And there is another command called pwd, which will show you which is the folder that you are currently working in. You know what is mean by a folder, right? A folder is nothing but just in Windows a folder, right? Inside C drive you can find number of folders and files. So right now this is the folder you are in right now. So first of all I will talk about the folder hierarchy. How does a Linux folder hierarchy will look like? In case of Windows, you click on my computer button, then you can see different drives, right? C drive, D drive, E drive, and you can go into one of this drive. You can find a number of files and number of folders in it, your Word document, your text files, then a number of folders, and if you go inside that folder you can find more files and folders in it. And that's how it will look like in Windows. When it comes to Linux, there is no difference. It has same tree structure. You go to one folder, inside that folder you will find a number of subfolder and files. Go to one of the subfolder, inside that you would find more subfolders and files. Like that. The hierarchy is similar to Windows, it's like a tree. And there is one difference, you will not see different drive like in Windows. C drive, D drive, E drive, those things are not there in Linux. Instead what you find is, if you look at the file system of Linux, the first folder which you find, its name is slash. There is one folder called slash. This is the root of the tree, the folder hierarchy. This is where everything begins. So at any point of time, you can run this command pwd. It would show you which folder you are in right now. It is now showing you are inside slash root. What does that mean? Slash root means that under slash there is another folder called root. Slash is a folder. Slash is the first folder in the Linux file system. Inside slash there is one subfolder called root. And this is where I am right now. While you are on a Linux command line, you are also working on a folder, and this is the folder I am right now. So under slash there can be other folders also, just like root. There can be other folders such as home, then there can be another folder such as etc. There can be a number of folders and files directly inside the slash folder, and inside each of this folder you can expect more subfolders and files. That's how the Linux file system will look like, and it's like a tree. The only difference is that there is no C drive, D drive, or anything. The first folder in Linux, it's called slash. The name of the first folder in Linux, it's called slash. And you want to go to a specific folder. I told you right now I am inside this particular folder, root folder, which is inside slash. That's where I am right now. You want to change it, you can change it at any point of time. Let's say I want to go to a folder called slash. There is a command at any point of time you want to go to a different folder. This is the Linux command that you need to use, cd, or change directory. Directory means nothing but folder. Cd space, then you can specify which folder you want to go into. So for example, you can run the command cd space, then specify which folder you want to go into. Let's say you want to go into the slash folder, you can type cd space slash. Then what happens is you will be taken to this particular folder. So let us do that. So run the command cd. Cd is the Linux command you always use whenever you want to go to any specific folder. Cd space slash. So you are indicating to the cd command that you want to go to the slash folder. And I told you slash is a special folder in Linux. I mean, not a special folder, the first folder in Linux. in Linux file system. So run the command cd space slash. Now what happened is you went inside this particular folder, or in other words, your present working directory became slash. Slash became your present working directory. You can confirm by running the command pwd. At any point of time, you can run the command pwd. What this Linux command does is it would show you which folder you are in right now. And right now you are inside slash. It's from the output, it's clear. Making sense? Okay. So I am inside the slash folder. So in case of Windows, how do you go to a folder? Just double click on the Windows file browser. You can see the content of the folder. In Linux, how do you see the content of a folder? You can type this command ls. ls is a command in Linux. It will show you the content of a given folder. Let's say I want to see the content of slash, then I can type this command ls space slash. What this Linux command does is it would show me the content of the slash folder. So I told you inside slash folder there can be a number of subfolders and files. I will see the complete list if I type the ls command. That's what ls command do in Linux. You can see bin is a folder, boot is another folder, dev is another folder, etc is another folder, home is a folder. These two are files. Like that, you can find a number of files and folders inside slash. ls is the Linux command that you always use whenever you want to see the content of a given folder. Okay, give me 1 minute. I will be right back. Just 1 minute. Okay, cool. So, so these are the content of the slash folder. ls space slash would actually show you the content of the slash folder. And in Windows, do you know how to specify the exact address of a folder? Right. For example, C Windows. Do you know what this means in Windows? It means the Windows folder inside the C drive. So like that, for every folder and file in Windows, there is a absolute path. Let's say absolute path. So in Linux also there is an absolute path. Under slash you have different content. There is a folder called home, there is another folder called boot, there is another folder called lib. Like that, there are different folders, mnt. So under slash you have a folder called mnt, another folder called home, another folder called, right, bin, another file. Right, you can have a text file or also a test.txt. So assume these are the content of your slash folder. Anyway, the ls command shows you the content of slash folder, and inside each of this folder there can be other content. Inside home there can be another folder called f1. Inside f1 folder there is a new file called new.txt or your word document, right? There can be some word document or text files that you can find throughout these folders. and this is how it can look like. The absolute path of a folder in Linux means the folder starting from the beginning slash. Or in other words, it's the correct address of a given folder. If I have to tell you the address of this text file test.txt, assume there is a file called test.txt under the slash folder, then what is going to be the absolute path of that file? Slash test.txt. First you put the slash. This slash indicate the first folder of Linux, slash test.txt. This is the correct path of the file test.txt, or it's also called the absolute path. Can you tell me what is the absolute path of this particular folder? MNT folder, slash MNT. What is the absolute path of this F1 folder? This is how it will look like. F1 is a folder inside home, and home is a folder inside slash. So this is how it will look like. Slash home slash F1. So different folder, you will separate them by putting a slash. But remember, this is a delimiter slash, but the first slash indicate the first folder of your Linux file system. The first folder is important. It's not a delimiter. This is a folder. And in between, let's say inside F1 you have another folder called F2. In that case, this is going to be, let's say inside F1 there is another folder called F2. In that case, this is going to be the absolute path of F2. Can you message me in the chat what is going to be the absolute path of this file new.txt? Message me in the chat. I need to know what is the absolute path of this particular file new.txt. Assume new.txt is inside the F1 folder, F1 is inside the home folder, home is inside the slash folder, as you are aware. Perfect. Perfect. So in that case, it's going to be slash home slash F1 slash new.txt. So whenever you have to separate files and folders, you would put a slash in between. And I told you the first slash has a different meaning. First slash indicate your top folder in the Linux file system. So don't get confused. These are the delimiter slashes which you put between the folders and files. This is a folder. The first slash is a folder. So no confusions. All right. And so there's a command called cd. Let's say my intention is I want to go into a folder called home. There's a folder called home which is inside slash. So I want to go to this folder. To go to a folder, what is the Linux command? Cd, change directory. Cd space, then which folder I want to go into? I want to go into this folder. So can you specify what is the exact command I need to run? Cd space. I should specify the absolute path of the home folder. Perfect. It's going to be cd space slash home. Perfect. So you can run the command pwd at any point of time to confirm which folder you are in right now. And pwd shows you right now you are inside slash home. Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. And now I want to see the content of slash home. What is the command? ls is the Linux command which will show you the content, right? ls space slash home. Which folder content you want to see? So ls space slash home. If you run this command, it would show you the content of slash home. Inside slash home, there is a folder called Ubuntu. I want to go into the Ubuntu folder. Can you ping me the command? I want to go to a folder Ubuntu, which is inside slash home. So what is the command I need to use? Of course, it is cd space, then cd space slash home slash Ubuntu. Or I can simply use Ubuntu because I am already inside slash home. That's also an option. This is the command because I know that Ubuntu is a folder inside home. Home is a folder inside slash. So this is the absolute path of Ubuntu, and I can run the cd command using the absolute path. But what I could have also done is, remember you are already inside slash home and you want to go to a folder which is inside slash home. In that case, it's not mandatory to use the complete absolute path. Instead, you can simply use the folder name. That is also fine. But for now, until you are comfortable, I want all of you to use the absolute path always. So that, Krishna, I hope you got it. For the time being, always use the absolute path whenever you work on Linux, so that you will understand the concepts of folder hierarchy. And this is the part where you all will be confused. Those who are new to Linux, this is the part where major confusions would come. So make yourself comfortable with the path. By always, whenever you want to specify a folder path, specify the absolute path starting from the beginning slash. That would clarify a lot of doubts yourself, right? You will clarify a lot of doubts yourself. And again, I'm explaining this command. Don't think that these are going to be very straightforward for you to get used to it. It is actually very straightforward, but the problem is you must work on the command line. You should run these commands. You should run a lot of Linux commands to make yourself comfortable with Linux commands. That's very important for you, because throughout the training we are going to use Linux machines for whatever learning that we do. Even AWS also, when we learn AWS, we are going to work on Linux machines to show you some practical cases of AWS and some use cases and real scenarios of AWS. So we are going to use Linux everywhere throughout this training. So you should be comfortable with the Linux command line. Uh, you should know all basic tasks that need to be done on a Linux command line. And whatever topic that we learn, we are going to use Linux. So it would be very helpful if you are comfortable. So make the first couple of days, today and tomorrow, focus completely on the Linux basics and getting yourself used to the Linux command line. Today there would be some assignment to you. You need to run a set of commands. Before that, let me finish few more things. So the next thing what I want to do is, I want to create a new file in my Linux machine. There's a command called touch. Touch is the Linux command that you can use in order to create a new blank file in your Linux machine, right? A normal text file in Windows. How do you do it? You right click and then you see the option create a new text document or something like that. That's how you do in Windows. In case of Linux, this is the command that you need to run. So my intention is, I want to create a file called test.txt. Inside the Ubuntu folder, and this Ubuntu folder is inside the home folder. Home folder is inside the slash folder. So right now you are inside slash home slash Ubuntu folder, and inside that folder I want to create a new file called test.txt. Touch is the command you always use whenever you want to create a new file. The syntax is touch space which file you want to create. So can you message me what is the command you would use? It's going to be touch space slash home slash Ubuntu slash test.txt. So what this particular command does is, it would create a file, a blank file, a normal text file, a blank text file, test.txt, inside Ubuntu folder, which is inside home, which is inside slash. So that's it. So this command will create a new file test.txt. Now I want to make sure that the file got created or not. For that, what I can do is I can look at the content of this particular folder, and test.txt file should be present in that folder. So what is the command for that? ls space /home /ubuntu is the command that I need to run. Then it would show me the content of this particular folder, and this file must be there in the output because you created it. Run this command and you can see test.txt file in the output, which is the content of this folder. So yes, now I want to create a folder. I don't want to create a file. I want to create a folder. Let's say I want to create a folder called F10. Inside this folder, under slash, under home, under Ubuntu, I want to create a folder called F10. Any name. So for that, there is another Linux command called mkdir. Touch command is for creating the file. Mkdir command for creating a folder. So mkdir space which folder you want to create. So I want to create the folder F10 under Ubuntu, which is under home, which is under slash. So what is the exact path I should put? It's going to be under slash, under home, under Ubuntu. I want to create a folder called F10. So this is going to be the command mkdir space, then the path. So now I want to confirm that this folder got created. How do you do it? Again, you can type the ls command, ls space, then take a look at the content of the Ubuntu folder /home /Ubuntu. So now you should see a file test.txt and also a folder called F10. So run this command, ls, it would show you in the output. You can now see there's a folder called F10 and there's a file called test.txt. All right. So what I want to do next is I want to edit this file. This is a text file. I want to edit this file. So how do you do in Windows? How do you edit a file in Windows? You just double click it, the file get opened in Notepad or Notepad plus plus, some of your editor. In case of Linux also there are different editors. There's a editor called Nano. There is another one called Pico, another one called VI. So these are all command line editors available in Linux. Now let's say I want to open this file test.txt inside a Nano editor. You can use any editor, it's up to you. Eventually you will become comfortable with one of these three editor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this editor Nano in order to open the file test.txt. The command will be the editor name, that means Nano space /home /Ubuntu test.txt. So this is the file I want to edit. Nano space, you specify which file you want to edit, and what happens is the file will open in the editor. Now you can edit it. This is a test file. I'm adding some content to it, and when I am done I can save this, and you can see different commands down here. Control X to exit the editor, Control O if you want to write the changes. So let me press Control O. It will ask me, are you sure want to write to this file? Press enter, and that's it. The file got written, file got saved. And Control X is the command that you can run to close the Nano editor. Now the Nano editor got closed. At any point of time you want to open the file again, run the same command, right? At any point of time you want to edit the file again, you want to make some modification to the file content, again open the file in the Nano editor by running the same command. Again the file get opened in the Nano editor. You can see some content right now because you earlier had saved these changes, and you are adding more content. And let's say without saving, if I press Control X is for closing the editor. If I press Control X without saving, it will ask you, do you want to save it? Press Y and then press enter, and that's it. The content got saved. Right? All these VI, Nano, Pico, gedit is not a command line browser, Giri. I believe so. Okay, so these are different commands we have seen. Let me open the PPT. Right, we have seen the ls command, pwd command, mkdir command to create a folder, touch command to create a new file, cd command to change your folder, and nano, vi or pico command, which are editors. Right, there are different commands that we discussed so far, and there's a command called man. If you want to learn about any Linux command, let's say you want to learn about ls command, you can type man space ls, or you want to learn about touch command, you can type man space touch. For every Linux command there is a documentation. To open the documentation, you can type this command man space the command name, then it would open the details of the ls command. It would show you what ls command will do, a short description, and what is the syntax of the ls command. This syntax look different than what we ran, right? For us, the syntax we used is ls space file or folder that you want to see. You can also put some options in between. So what are those options? These are different options. You can put a hyphen a in between. What hyphen a does, do not ignore entry starting with a dot. Okay, so let us talk about what is hyphen a, or what is an option. And generally when you run a Linux command, press Q when you want to close the man page. Press Q button in your keyboard to close it. So generally the syntax of a Linux command will look like this, right? The Linux command space some argument that you want to pass to that command. So for example, ls space /root. What this command means? ls is the actual Linux command, /root is an argument that you are passing to the command. So this is the syntax of our cd space /home. Cd is the Linux command, /home is the argument, or touch space /home/basil /test.txt. Touch is the command. This is an argument. So generally this is the syntax of any Linux command. There are exceptions. Whoami command, we didn't give any arguments. pwd command, we didn't give any arguments. Yes, there are exceptions. Sometimes you can simply run the Linux command just like that. What you can also do is you can put some options in between. So for example, ls, you want to see the content of /home. Actual command is ls space /home. In between these two things, you can put some options. So what are options that you put? You can run the man ls command to see what are the options available for the given command. And options tells the command to do a different thing. So in this case, there's an option for ls called hyphen a, ls hyphen a /home/ubuntu. You can run the command this way also. This is also a valid command. I will tell you what this command will do. Before that, before running that command, let me do certain things. I'm creating a new file called .basil.txt. So sorry, it's a folder that I created. Yeah, whatever. So I'm creating another folder called f100. Then I'm creating a file using the touch command. I'm creating a file called dot myfile.txt. So I'm creating a number of files. Yes, dot is allowed in the file name. No problem in that. So now let me. So where these files get created? In my current folder by default. If you don't specify the absolute path, if you simply specify the file name without specifying the absolute path, then the files get created in your current folder. So right now I am inside /home/ubuntu. That is where all these files got created. You type ls. Where are those files? Or you type ls space /home/ubuntu. Where are those files that you created? Remember, ls command will not show you the file if the file name begin with a dot. The files are there, ls command won't show you because the file name begin with a dot. Make a note. So you want to see those files also, then -a is the option that you can use. ls space -a space, then you put the folder name, then it would show you the content of the folder, even those files which begin with a dot. You can see dot basil.txt, dot f100, dot myfile.txt, right? All these things you can now see. So that's what options means. Use the man command to learn about any other Linux commands. And what I also want you to do is, and those who didn't sign up at training door, please do it. Those who joined today as new, what I want you to do is go to this website training.info and create yourself an account here. What you need to do is click on the login button on the right side top. Then you will see an option to create yourself a new account. Use a Gmail ID when you are creating an account, and or in other words, you can actually directly log in with your Gmail ID to your Google to sign up to this website. Both options are possible. In either case, you will get an email asking you to click on the link to confirm your mail ID, and that's it. You need to click on the link to confirm your mail ID, and you are registered on this website. What I am going to do is I'm going to upload some few things into the code, few assignment in here. It's nothing but I want you to complete 50 Linux commands. Starting from today, take a couple of days, it's okay. I'm uploading some assignments here. Okay. Right, so I will show you what you need to do. Yeah, you can see some assignment. There's only one assignment under Linux Basics. You will need to complete some 50 Linux commands starting from, I will copy the link to you. You can simply go to this website. I know that most of you don't have access to the training doc. So I had pasted the link in the chat. Go to this link. What I want you to do is, starting from the first command, run all the commands, right? Just I want you to learn all the commands by searching in Google, checking with your friends, or in whatever way you can. There are 50 commands which you will find under this link. I want you to finish all of them, start running the commands one by one, and you should learn it, right? First of all, there's a command called tar. What the command does is it would create a tar archive. It would zip the file and unzip the file. That's what this tar command will do. You search in Google about tar command, get more information about tar command, understand what exactly you are running here. Then there's a grep command. Then you search in Google about grep command, what grep command do. Then make sure that you know what you are doing, right? It's all about make sure that whatever commands that you are running, make sure that you know about those commands, right? Rather than blindly copy pasting the commands in your Linux command line, just start in the beginning. And what I also want you to do is just start with some reading some articles. I had pasted some tutorial under the Linux basics about Linux and about Ubuntu operating system. So these 4 tutorials I want you to read it to get started, right? It's important. So go through this tutorial and also complete the assignment. You can take a couple of days, but make sure that you finish it. It's very important. It's all about making yourself comfortable with Linux command lines. It's mandatory. It's mandatory to do that. So those who don't have access to the training doc, I had pasted the assignment link. So start with the assignment. The other stuff you can start once you got access to the portal. So talk to your Ragesh. You already have access. Just log into your training to our website, you already have access, Rakesh. You can find these things under Linux Basics. All right. Those who don't have access, please, those who didn't sign up, first of all, please sign up. Please register. Go to this website, training.info, and register by clicking login button on the right side top. And then uh, talk to your building contact person. They are the one who will provide you access. Right? So please go ahead and sign up now. And that's all. We will continue tomorrow.